This is the MiG-21bis, and yes, I'm aware Russia has the exact same one with like some different ground loadouts or something. But I've never really played a MiG-21bis before, so this is a good excuse for me to play it and make a video on it. Oh yeah, and we also got a new EC map, and it's actually kinda cool. You know, with all the effort I put into that little edit, you would think that I'm about to tell you that the MiG-21bis is absolutely nutty. Well, sorry to disappoint, but it's not. It's very far from being the best plane at top tier, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's bad either. Frankly, it's just kinda mid. There are most definitely planes that are worse than this thing at 11.0, but there are a few that are miles better. But let me explain why. So the MiG-21bis, despite being the second best MiG-21 in-game, first being the Bis SAU, it is still a MiG-21, which means you have a delta wing and bleed all of your speed super quickly in a turn. I know I say something equivalent to that every single time I talk about a delta wing, but I say it because it is true. And that is this plane's major drawback. It's just a delta wing, it's a MiG-21. It is super maneuverable, it turns super hard, it rolls really quickly and all that, but it's just, I mean, one turn and you're sitting still. However, I have been having a lot of fun in this thing. And I honestly don't know why. Maybe it's because it's been a long time since I've flown anything with R60s and R13s, so it kind of has a specific feeling to it, I guess. It's kind of funny, I haven't even been doing that well in it. In fact, I was just telling some people that I have been playing War Thunder terribly as of late, yet I still managed to actually enjoy myself in this plane. But I guess it does have some characteristics that make it relatively fun compared to a lot of other planes, I feel like. And I think a big part of that is the Gish-23. It's a super low velocity gun, but it has a crazy high fire rate and hits like a truck when they hit. So sometimes I manage to get some pretty flashy shots that feel really nice when you get the kills. And then you have the R13s, which are like, in my eyes, they're kind of like an AIM-9J. I don't know how similar they actually are, but to me they feel like an AIM-9J. You get two of them, and these are the missiles you're going to want to use if someone's a bit further away out of range of your R60s. They also are a lot more flare resistant. They're not perfect, but they will ignore some flares every now and then. And of course 4 R60s, but you guys probably already know how R60s typically behave. In a nutshell, R60s are pretty good missiles as long as the person you're shooting at doesn't flare, because these things eat up flares like crazy. Yeah, R60s don't have that much range, but they do pull very hard and very quickly, which is really nice. As far as how I use the MiG-21bis in a game, I'm typically on the deck for the majority of the game. Typically when you're on the deck, you don't have to worry about F-14s and their AIM-7Fs that much, or at least as much as you would if you were higher up. For most of the game, at least until late game, you want to be going pretty much as fast as possible. You don't want to be making any really sharp turns because you're going to be very slow and then you're a sitting duck. As I said earlier, it's a MiG-21 with a delta wing. You're going to be slow very quickly if you decide to turn. This is kind of one of those planes where you want to just kind of zoom in and out of the furball, fire off some missiles if you can, and extend away, come back, and try and do it again. Okay, so as much as I was struggling to get footage for this thing, I do have a game I want to show you. It's nothing special, but it is kind of like, ideally, what will happen in a decent game. Okay, so starting out this game, I'm hanging out to the left side of the map. Like I said earlier, I hang pretty low, pretty much on the deck. Got a Jaguar coming in, I'm not gonna kill him, and I take a shot, see if I can get lucky, but other than that, I'm kind of just gonna ignore him and head over to where I think the largest amount of enemy players are gonna be. Su-22 ends up flying right in front of us, so I'm gonna shoot off an R60 thinking that's gonna be an easy kill, but the R60 heads right into the center of the mountain, and then an F-5C is gonna get the kill. Unfortunate for me, but whatever. Gonna continue to stay low and fast, but an F-14 flies in front of me, take a few poorly placed shots, but once again, no big deal. I'm just gonna keep flying straight, keep my speed high, and hopefully pick off some people who are slow or not paying attention. These 3 players in the enemy team kind of are flying directly towards me and above me, but I'm just gonna fly under them and hope they don't end up 180ing for me. Actually kind of ended up with an F4E on my tail for a second there, but my teammates kind of are taking care of him, so he's not going to be a problem. So since there's no one directly threatening me, I'm going to try and engage this Su-22. It seems he's not paying attention to me, so I'm going to shoot off an R13M, and I'm going to pick up the kill. I noticed this EJ Phantom crossing in front of me, pretty much at 90-degree angle, so I'm going to load up an R13, fire it at about 3.5 kilometers, which, you know, normally would be pretty far for an IR missile, and I'm gonna pick up the kill. As soon as the EJ's dead, I look to my right and notice an F-14 chasing this F-5 on my team. try locking up the F-14 with an R-60, but the sun is directly behind the clouds, and my missile keeps locking the sun, so I wasn't really able to get one off. Once I am actually able to get a lock, I shoot one off, and I thought it was going to hit perfectly fine, but it must have zipped right past him. Oh yeah, and side note about the R-60s and F-14s, even though the R-60 is a rear aspect only missile, you can sometimes get front aspect kills on F-14s or the R-60s just because those F-14s are so hot. Anyway, since the F-14 is the only enemy plane I know the location of, I'm gonna 180 for him, which I don't normally do or recommend you do in most circumstances. He starts turning, I get a little closer, shoot an R-60, and this time the F-14 is gonna take a direct hit, resulting in another kill. Almost get hit by my teammate, but we didn't, so we're all good. And now I gotta take care of this F-5E. And once again, I'm gonna turn around for this F-5, load up an R-60, fire it off, and he's going to disappear behind the mountain, and my R-60 is going to follow, resulting in my 4th kill. And just like that, the game's over. And you know, it's kind of funny, I got a lot of games like this where it's like, okay, 2 to 4 kills, all of them are missile kills, nothing really crazy happening, I'm not clutching anything up. They're all relatively, for your decent game, they're like a relatively average decent game, if that makes sense. Let's see, what am I trying to say here? I didn't have any like standout games. It was just a lot of games, like my good games were like this, just like 4 kills, all missiles, and doing what the plane does. And that's just kind of what this plane is. It's a MiG-21 that does MiG-21 things. And frankly, it's kind of nice. I said this earlier, but I really actually have been kind of enjoying this plane. I don't even really know why. It's just kind of, I don't know, refreshing, I guess. So already I said the MiG-21bis is kind of mid, but how does it actually stack up to the competition? Let's compare it to the J-7E. Man, there's really not that much to say. The J-7E is frankly just better in every single way. I think maybe the MiG-21bis has more engine power, but man, the J-7E kind of just has UFO capabilities a lot of the time. I mean, the J-7E is based on the MiG-21, but it's much newer and better and upgraded and all that. Plus you get 4 PL-5Bs, which are some of the best missiles in the game, in my opinion. Then there's the F-14, which is just better than the BIS in most ways as well. The BIS just can't keep up in a dogfight with either J-7E or the F-14, really. But like I said earlier, it's better than a lot of the planes at 11.0 as well. Now, I haven't flown any of the Phantoms in a while, and frankly, I haven't really wanted to, but if my memory serves me correctly of all the Phantoms, the MiG-21bis is better than just about all of them. Though I haven't flown the EJ Kai, and I haven't flown any of the British Phantoms either. So yeah, MiG-21bis, not a bad plane, not the best. But I do like it, so it gets Jet Noob approval, certified. Alright, that's about all I've got to say about the MiG-21bis Finland edition. So what do you guys think about the MiG-21bis? Let me know your thoughts. Alright, that's gonna be it for me today. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.